Hello, this tutorial is going to talk about how you can insert hidden parameters within the URL of your online or mobile web surveys. Now, hidden parameters, what does that mean? Let's say you have a complaint management system within your organization, or a CRM system, or some type of customer tracking system, and you have unique identifiers for tracking your customers. And when you send surveys, let's say you do have a complaint management system and you want to send follow-up surveys after resolving issues, but you want to tie or link those surveys back to the individual customers. Well, you need to pass those unique identifiers that identify each customer or each issue. So we have added a feature where by using open-ended single-line question types, you can include up to 3 parameters within the URL. So let's see how this works. I'm going to go to the list of surveys. I'm in the Survey Manager test account. I've already created a using parameters survey name here, and I'm just going to go over here to the action column and click Edit. And you'll see I have a 4-question survey. Well, actually, this particular survey, when a customer receives this survey, either on their mobile device or PC browser, they're only going to see question 3 and 4, and they'll be labeled question 1 and 2. So it'll appear as a 2-question survey to them, because the first question is the customer ID question, which is really just tracking that customer's ID from that other complaint management system. And the second question is tracking the complaint ID. So why don't we edit this question? I'll show you how this works. So in a single line question type, you'll see at the bottom a checkbox. Mark question as hidden for customer parameter. And it's hidden because the customer doesn't see it. Now when I check this, I can identify this as parameter 1, 2, or 3. You can have up to 3 parameters. You don't have to use all 3. But question number 1, my customer ID, I'm going to call that parameter 1. And similarly, question 2, complaint ID, is my parameter 2. So in this survey, I've only used 2 of the 3 optional parameters. Now, what will this look like in the actual URL? Well, let's jump up to another tab here. And if you look at, see, we only have question 1 and 2. The complaint ID and customer ID questions are not displayed for the actual customer taking the survey. Now look at the URL. Now normally our URLs end here, the 826. But when you add into the URL and param1 equals and param2 equals, then those, whatever follows the equal sign, in other words 1, 2, 3 in this case, that would be my customer ID, and my complaint ID would be 4, 5, 6, and I've just obviously used sequential numbers for the sake of illustration. But those unique IDs will be passed through to the raw data stream collected by each survey that then can easily be linked back to another system. So after taking a survey, what does the raw data look like? It would look something like this. So 1, 2, 3 is the customer ID, 4, 5, 6. Each question's data is separated by a comma here. Customer answered 1 to the 3rd question in the survey, and we simply typed in test. So we can just go ahead and do that. 1 would be a yes, and I'll type in test 2 and click next. Thank you. That's the end of the survey. And then when you go into the Survey Manager and you run a report, you can just go ahead and run a report here, and it will show you now we have 2 of 2. And you'll notice when you run a report, since this isn't customer facing, it's or respondent facing, it's for your own reporting purposes, it shows us that we do have 2 responses for question 1, which is the complaint ID, and 2 responses for question 2, which is the customer ID and the complaint ID. So we do track the hidden questions data, obviously, within the reports and the raw data of the reports, but just not in the survey that's actually seen by the customer. So this is a quick tutorial just giving you a sense how you can use these 3 basic placeholders known as parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3 within any online or mobile web survey to pass unique identifiers from one system linking back to your own internal systems from the survey you're sending out to your customers. And that's all for now. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.